Alright guys, I'm going to knock out one more video today. My last video I showed you how to customize your traders, add military style vehicles, and add battle eye exceptions for the weaponry that's on those military vehicles. I'm going to show you how to add those vehicles to your dynamic spawner. And I did a video on upgrading an Epoch server to an Overpoch server. So the Overpoch or Overwatch mod adds all these vehicles. So this would be useful if you were to create an Overpoch server. You could add those vehicle classes to your dynamic vehicle spawner, and those are in the easiest way to find them. You know, this is the Overpoch mission PBO. They're in the trader files. So go to the config server traders and look at this Overwatch folder that I made. If you're using the different traders, then this won't apply, but these are the ones that I did in the that are in my GitHub, and I added to that video. So there's the Overwatch vehicles here, and these are all the class names of the vehicles for Overwatch. And this apply. I'm gonna go ahead and do this video on the Overwatch or Overpoch server because of all these vehicles. It'd be kind of cool to see them spawn in. But my last video was the militarized vehicles, and you could add those in as well the same exact way. So this applies to both Epoch and Overpoch. So let's go into, I'm going to go ahead and leave this file open. And I'm going to go into, let me actually, you don't need to do anything on the mission side. It's in the server PBO. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this and leave my Overpoch PBO as it is. So to edit the dynamic vehicle config, you go into the server. I'm doing Overpoch, but you could do Epoch. It's the same shit. Go into your server PBO. Extract it, and you can back this one up. I'm just going to throw it over here. So that's my backup. I'm not going to throw it in a folder. I'm just going to throw it there. This is a pretty easy mod. So open up your DayZ server folder, go into system, and this is the config file, dynamicvehicle.sqf. Keep this file in editor. Yes, please. Since I deleted that folder, it doesn't see this anymore, but I'm going to keep it in there. Let's move this over here. This is what we're working with right here. Let's maximize. Let's move this to the other view. These, if max vehicle limit is over 300, then it uses this ratio. That prevents errors. If you were to try to bump your vehicles up over 300, it used to give errors in 1051. I don't know if it did it on all maps, but a lot of maps it would. But it starts using these ratios. So you see now there's a vehicle class here, and this ratio, whatever. Some of these are different. I think like this is a aircraft, a plane that uses ratio 1. This is a helicopter, uses ratio 3. What uses ratio 2? Anything using ratio, there's a ratio 2, yeah. Is there anything using ratio 2? It doesn't look like any, yeah, here we go. Ratio 2, this is a helicopter. You could pick whatever ratio you want. If you want high chance, then you would go with the bigger number. This is the smaller number. So let's use, I'm going to add these vehicles in here. Let's actually do this. Let's, shit. I want to do Control A, Control C. Let's close that one. It's not there anymore, so let's do this. New, paste that shit in there. Now this is just a unsaved file. Move to other view. Okay, so let's do some trickery here to isolate these vehicle classes. So let's get rid of this. You know, delete that, get that on top. Let's select all of this shit right there, and then go into find. Either do edit, find, what is it, search, find, or you can do Control F. So let's paste all that in there. Wait, what did it do there? I want this. Control C. And let's paste that in here. Okay, so it did that. So you're going to do a replace, and you're going to do a replace with nothing. So I'm replacing all of this with nothing. So hit it one time, see what happens. So what is it doing? Just the first freaking line? Okay, so replace all. I guess we're doing it that way. It does one line at a time. I thought you could do more. I thought you could do more than one line. Let's see if we can do 2 lines. Maybe it will do this. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to do 1 line. Let's do a replace. Okay, so it's just doing 1 line at a time. Whatever. Just do 1 line at a time. Replace it with nothing. You're just copying a line from here and replacing it with nothing. Replace all. So, okay, so let's do this one. Replace that with nothing. Let's do this. Replace that with nothing. So now you see you have your classes. Okay, now let's go ahead and do class with a space. And replace all that. So now you got your classes isolated. Why did it not get it rid of? Oh, because these were different price. That's why. Okay, so let's, we'll just keep doing this until everything's out of there. Replace with nothing. Replace with nothing. What's this? Let's get rid of that. Okay, so here's some other ones with a different price. Replace that with nothing. Replace all. Paste that in there. Replace all. Okay, so I got a blank line up there. I guess you just do one at a time. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, so now I have gotten rid of that. You can use a macro as well. Let's do some trickery here. Let's do a macro. And let's do delete, 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 delete. Stop. Play that. Oh, is that not going to work? Oh, hold on. I know why that didn't work. Edit, undo. Let's see. Record macro. Sometimes this is clumsy. I'm clumsy. Delete, 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 and then down. Stop. Play. Okay, let's play that to the end. Run to the end. Okay, so I don't know if I deleted anything out of there. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I don't think so. What's this? This is supposed to be a something. I don't know. Fuck it. Maybe there's one missing. Maybe there's not. I don't know. But anyways, that's how you make a list. be careful with your macros and your, your find and replace. But I've got a list here of all of the Overwatch cars. I think I did delete one. Let's check. Did I get rid of... Go in here. Go in here. Whoops, I don't want to double click. I want to right click. And I think I did delete one accidentally there. Config loot. No. Oh yeah, server traders. Category, Overwatch, vehicles. Let's move this to other view. I think I accidentally deleted this first 350Z. Yeah. So all the rest of them appear to be in there. I did delete this one, Civ car. Well, kind of. So just be careful with how you use that. That was a bit clumsy. Back. Looks like I got a space there. So let's copy that. Search, find. And I got a space there. I'm going to replace the space with nothing. Okay, all 36 occurrences were replaced. So there's no spaces after these now. So I got a list of 36 cars, I guess. Very nice. Let's we're gonna add, these are all okay. You got these are for watercraft, and it goes by map type, whether you allow them or not. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make these all ratio 3, just for the hell of it. So I'm gonna convert all of these to this format. Okay, so let's do this with a macro. So I'm gonna be here. How many is that? Hold on. That's one tab. Okay, so let's do this. Let's record macro. I'm gonna do a tab. I'm gonna do a bracket. I'm gonna do a quote. I'm going to hit the N key. I'm going to do another quote. I'm going to do that, comma, and then I need to type in this ratio 3. So underscore, capital RATIO 3, and then I need a bracket. And a comma. And then I'm going to hit the home key. I'm going to hit, let's see, is it the back arrow? Let's try back arrow. Maybe home one more time. Okay, home one more time. And then down arrow. Stop. Let's see what happens. Play. Looks good. Play. All the way to the end. You can run it all the way to the end with the this, or I just hit them one at a time. But you see that? I just reformatted all of those to work with this. So I'm gonna copy all this. I want to put a comma here. Remember, last one doesn't have a comma. That's not the last one anymore. I want to hit enter, paste it. I want to remove the comma from that one. And that's it. That's a little bit of Notepad++ trickery, just to create a list a little quicker. I think I made a couple of mistakes in there at first, with the removing spaces, but this is how you do it. Just use these macros and use the you know, replace all. But this should work now. This should be formatted correctly. We started here. Okay. And let's go ahead and save this. Close that. I don't want to save it. You don't have to have the... I don't like to have the planes in the friggin... I hate where planes spawn. They rarely spawn somewhere where you get to take off in them. That's just part of the downfall of the dynamic spawner. But now look at these other vehicles. If you don't want some of these vehicles, like maybe you don't want, you know, the planes because you can't stand where they spawn. You know, maybe you don't want... See, this one uses ratio 3x2. So that doubles the chance of it spawning. This is a bike. These are just bikes. If you don't want bikes, then just remove it. You know? I don't want bikes. Get them out of there. You can do that with any of this stuff. These are Cessnas. Those spawn in shit spots. Fuck these. You know, get rid of them. I'll leave everything else. But we just added our new vehicles here. And we're going to save this. And close that. So we saved it right here in the server PBO. We don't have to do any moving over. We just edited the one that's there. So let's repack our server PBO. And let's delete this. And I'm going to close. Let me back up because I need to repack. Did I do anything in here? I just looked at the vehicle classes. Didn't I? I don't think I did anything in here other than look at those vehicle classes. Did I do anything else in there? No. So all I did was look at the vehicle. I just grabbed the vehicle classes out of that trader file. So let's go ahead and start this Overpoch server. I need to reload my game because I don't have the Overwatch. I need to enable that, move it up above Epoch, and hit OK, and it's going to restart my game. Oh, you know what I need to do? Before I start this server, I'm going to go into the database. Come on now. I want to wipe out all of my object data so I can see if those things spawn in. Because it's already done all the spawning. It's not going to spawn anything new. So let's go into Heidi SQL. Open that up. Object data. Data tab. Do not do this on a live server, by the way, because you have players on your server. They'll be saving stuff. You know, their building objects will be in here. Their safes, all the gear they're storing. It's all in object data. This is for test server only. I'm going to select all this, and I'm going to drop it. So I just cleared out my object data database. So it will spawn fresh vehicles. So let's close that and fire the Overpoch server back up. And this should be almost loaded here. I think when you tab out, it stops loading. So my expansions, Overwatch, and Epoch, good. Multiplayer, join. And it's going to, as soon as I hit OK, it's going to start spawning all new vehicles in. I have Infostar loaded on here so I can do the vehicle ESP so I can see where all the vehicles are on the map. Okay, so what do I got here? Northeast Airfield. So I should have all new vehicles now. Let me go ahead and turn on my teleport. Zed shield. So what we got here? That's a little bird. Also in that init editing, I think I showed you this where you could, you know, pull over those ratios for changing the vehicle damage so they're more damaged or less damaged, however you want it. So let's it should be done spawning. Let's see if it's what it's doing here. Is it still streaming data? It looks like it's done spawning vehicles, so let's go into our ESP. What is it? Markers, unlock vehicles. Okay, so here's all the vehicles that spawned on the map. And here you see a Nissan 350Z. There we go. Let's see if what else do we have? Did it spawn any of the planes? There's another Nissan 350Z. There's another one there. We got any cop cars. There's one of the camels right here. There we go. There's a camel spawned in. You might be able to take off here. Again, I'm not a huge fan of having the planes spawn in because they always spawn in shit locations where I think you can actually push the plane. Can you push this one? Maybe it's only certain planes. Yeah, maybe it's only certain planes you can push. But yeah, you might be able to take off with that in here. Don't know. Camel. What else we got here? Where's a cop car? I want to see a cop car. There's another 350Z. There's a Holden Monaro. Right there. That's one of the... Well, Holden Monaros aren't really legitimate cop cars. They say police and shit, but... let's see what kind of damage they have on them. This one actually moves. So, yeah, you can... If you want, you can change your vehicle damage in those variables that are in init.sqf. Oh, well, what am I doing? I didn't want to do that in the map. Was there a cop car? There's another 350Z. Here's one of the cop cars. Yeah, there's a cop car right there. Very good. Another 350Z. Another one there. There's another cop car. Yeah, it's another cop car there. So yeah, that works. See, that's how you do. If you want to add vehicles to your dynamic vehicle spawner, go into that dynamic vehicle.sqf. You know, this is for Overpoch, obviously, but damn, there's a lot of cop cars. Look at all these 350Zs and shit. Tons of them. Red one. So, yeah. If you turn that ratio up to 3, I think it has more of a chance to spawn. There's another cop car. Another Monaro. Lots of helicopters and shit. Police car. That's it, you guys. Let me, there's really nothing to check, like RPTs and stuff, because that's pretty cut and dry. You can't really fuck up your server doing that. You're just adding vehicles. If one of the vehicle class names wasn't right, it would give you an error, but, you know, there's no errors in here. The vehicle spawner was, that's server side. I don't think there should be anything in the client RPT. I think vehicle spawning is done server side only, so yeah, there's no errors. That's all you do, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that video. That's a short one. That's very easy to do. No problems. just how to add vehicles to your dynamic spawner. Alright, we'll see you next time.